Hey, so one of the most common questions I've been getting from friends and even people I used to work with is, Troy, what inspired you to grow your hair out, right? What's the story behind that? And fortunately, it's been astoundingly positive. But I thought I'd make this video to give some context. So for those that know me, I've been getting consistently, I've been getting a Caesar haircut or a #1, depending on the barber or the barbershop you go to. If you know, you know. So I've been getting a Caesar or a #1 since elementary school. So basically my whole life, that's been my go-to haircut, right? A very traditional hairstyle. And like I said, I would get a haircut every single Friday. My barber loved me. I was easy money. Every single week I'm coming in. He knows that money is coming. And what really made the change for me was when I switched out of my last full-time role to go into personal development and leadership full-time, right, as a consultant and a coach. And what happened was I realized that up to that point, I would get a haircut every single Friday. I had a particular pattern, right? I would get a haircut every single Friday, kind of early afternoon, and then I would feel so good about myself. You know, when you get a haircut, it's like a hit of dopamine. You just feel good. Like your self-esteem is on a 10. You want to go out and, go out on the town, particularly in New York. So I would get a haircut and then I would end up calling a friend or two and saying, hey, what are we doing tonight? Are we going to the lounge? Are we going out? What are we doing? Let's go out tonight. Let's not stay in. And I was not the party guy, by the way. I was not always a guy that was always doing this, but there was enough times where I would notice that there was a connection there. So when I was in corporate, you kind of do that. You go out, you drink on Friday, Saturday, you might be a little bit hungover, you're not operating at 100%, and then Sunday, you're kind of sluggish, you're not as hungover, but you're not operating at 100% either. You're kind of playing catch up for Saturday, right? So while it didn't really bother me when I was working in corporate, when I began working for myself and on my own time, that particular pattern was one of diminishing returns, right? Like, speaking monetarily, it was terrible for my budget. and more importantly, from a productivity standpoint, and as someone that works on weekends, I was working on weekends when I was in corporate and while I was on my own. That's just the type of person I am. Like, I'm trying to get the most out of every single day. But when I'm working on my own, I need that Saturday. I need that Sunday. Time is money, right? In the truest sense possible. So I realized that pattern, that habit, that system, it no longer served me in the life that I now lived and in the person I wanted to become. So I had to let go of it. And for me, I was like, okay, well, what's the trigger that's setting off all these actions? And it was me getting my hair cut. So when I transitioned out of my last role, I underwent like kind of an intense form of study where I was reading a lot, I was studying a lot of research papers, everything I could find on personal development and leadership, just to build off of what I already instinctually knew from my own life experience and from my professional experience. So I was really, I really needed that tunnel vision. And at that point, I entered a phase that I like to jokingly call monk mode, right? Where I was just in the books all day. Every single morning I would run down to the local coffee shop and, I would be there from about when they opened to about when they closed. So I would be there all day studying. And I laugh now also because I was probably spending as much money in that cafe than I would be going out. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the hair just started growing and growing and growing. And at the end of, I want to say, like 3 or 4 months, my hair was about halfway where it is now, which is still pretty big. And yeah, I remember sitting down in the barber's chair because I had a speaking engagement lined up. And I was like, do I want to cut my hair? Like, it was really like that moment. Like, I'm literally, my barber's cut, I'm literally in the mirror. People probably thought I was crazy or super like into myself. And I'm like, do I cut my hair or do I keep it? Like, this was the moment of truth. And, I decided to just keep it. I told him, just line me up. And that was that. So I just never cut it after that. It really, I think, in a way, is just symbolic of this transformation that I made in my life in so many ways, and whenever I look at it, I see progress. So who knows whether I'll keep it or if one day I'll cut it or trim it or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of the story behind me growing my hair out. And yeah, I'm really proud of all the progress that I've made and what this represents to me. I think it's really important to be able to look in the mirror and be proud of the person you see. So this, in many ways, just helped me. It helps me do that a little bit more. But yeah, it's important, like I said before, to cut those things out of your life that may impede you from becoming the person you want to be, or that will impede the progress that you know you need to make. So whether that's the Xbox, the PS5, the Netflix, whatever that is, the invitation that I offer you, I guess, is to think about what thing or things you need to cut out of your life to really start operating at 100%. Right? We know how important that is. Time is of the essence. Time is money. So think about it and let me know.